3 key leader takeaways in under 3 minutes. Let's start the clock. Today, we're going to talk about the universal truth of the imbalance of inputs and outputs. They're never the same. We in leadership refer to it as the 80-20 rule. It was actually kind of invented or theorized in the late 1800s by an Italian economist by the name of Pareto, and there's a thing called the Pareto Principle, mostly applied in math and a lot of theory that's out there. But in leadership, we all are accustomed to saying the 80-20 rule, but I want to visit that a little bit more. You think about this universal truth about what does all this mean? Think about this. My home, I've got 15 rooms or so in it, but at 80% of the time, I'm only in my living room, my bedroom, or my office. Just 20% of all the rooms. If you think about the phone I have, I've got probably 50 apps on my phone, but I really only use 6 or 8 of them 80% of the time. 80% of consequences stem from 20% of the causes. Think about that for a second. So this 80-20 rule kind of all around us, how do we apply this really from a leadership perspective? So think about this. What 20% of your work drives 80% of the outcomes? Here's 3 things to think about. First is projects. 80% of the value that you gain out of project or project management is really delivered within the first 20% of your efforts. Think about when you get a huge project put on your desk, that time you spend, that first 20% of your time breaking it apart, creating milestones, creating all these different ways about how you're going to accomplish the project, that's what's going to drive the success to it. So that initial 20% will really drive 80% of the outcome at the end. When you think about employees, we all know this one, but a lot of us are afraid to say it. 20% of the employees produce 80% of the results in your organization. In sales alone, 20% of all of the sales force produces 80% of an organization's revenue. It's just a universal truth. So invest in that 20%. Finally, relationships. 80% of your social life is from only about 20% of truly your social circle. Now, that's a good thing or a bad thing, but think about the quote that always says, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. The Pareto Principle, as applied to leadership in under 3 minutes, the 80-20 rule. Learn more about it, discover how it applies to you and your organization, and your level of effort will actually raise by only having the concentration with the 20%. Iron sharpens iron. Make yourself and others around you better every single day.